Yes.
Are you ready?
For what?
To self.
Self what?
Direct. Choices I make and my actions are my responsibility. My attitude I keep in check, and that is how I self-direct. Self-direct. We can all self-direct. Self-direct. We can all self-direct. Who's got behavior that soars and roars?
Leopards.
Hello again, I'm Miss Thompson.
And I'm Miss Westbrook.
And for the month of October, we are focusing on the character trait of self-direct.
Self-direct is about leading yourself to who you want to be.
And the first week that we learned about self-direct, we learned think, choose, act.
Last week, we learned about setting goals to help us be self-directed learners.
So this week we have a read aloud that is called My Mouth is a Volcano. It's about a student who struggles to show self-direct with his words.
I can't wait to hear all about it. Let's get ready to read.
My Mouth is a Volcano, written by Julia Cook, illustrated by Carrie Hartman. My name is Louis. People say I erupt a lot. I don't think I do. I have a lot to say, and all of my words are very important to me. When other people talk, words just pop into my head. Then they slide down onto my tongue. My tummy starts to rumble, and then it starts to grumble. My tongue pushes all of my important words up against my teeth, and then I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth. My mouth is a volcano. In class, my teacher says that when we want to say something, we are supposed to look at her, raise our hand, and wait until she calls on us. I tried that. After I waited patiently for what seemed like 62 years, my important words slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Louis, my teacher said, I know what you are saying is very important to you, but since it is not an emergency, you'll have to wait until I call on you. It was my volcano's fault. During story time, we were sitting on the rug listening to Miss Polly read us a story about planting trees. All of a sudden, I thought about the time my grandpa and I planted 6 trees in his front yard. My important words slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Miss Polly asked if I wanted to go to the calm down corner. It was my volcano's fault. During dinner, Mom and Dad were talking about paying the bills. Then I thought about my friend Bill. Bill can blow a bubble inside of a bubble when he chews 2 pieces of bubble gum. Now that is really important. My important words about Bill slid down from my head onto my tongue. My tummy started to rumble, and then it started to grumble. My words began to wiggle, and then they did the jiggle. My tongue pushed all of my important words into my teeth, and my volcano erupted. Louis, my mom said, you're interrupting. If someone else is talking and you don't have an emergency, you have to wait for your turn. But Mom, my words, they slide down from my head onto my tongue, then my tummy starts to rumble. Louis, you just did it again. Why don't you go upstairs and get started on your homework? I'll be up soon. But it was my volcano's fault. The next day at school was my very important day. I had been waiting for about 126 weeks to be the student star of my class. This was my special moment. I got to share a poster with my class that had pictures of all of my favorite things. I stood up in front of my class and began to tell them about the time I went fishing. Halfway through my story, Richard started to tell everyone about when he went deep sea fishing in Mexico. His story must have been better than mine because everyone started to look at him. He was stealing my important words. Richard, said my teacher, you just interrupted Lewis. Please wait until he is finished talking, and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe Richard. He erupted me. That really made me angry. After talking about my fishing trip, I started to explain the x-ray of my broken arm. Just as I was getting to the good part, Courtney started to tell the class about when she broke her leg. Courtney, said my teacher, you just interrupted Lewis. Please wait until he is finished talking and then he might call on you. I couldn't believe Courtney. She started talking right during my 15 minutes of fame. She ruined my important words. She almost stole my moment. When I got home, I told my mom about being the student star and about Richard and Courtney interrupting me. Now you see how we feel when you interrupt us, said my mom. I never thought about that. I just got so excited, my words pop into my head. Then they slide down onto my tongue. My tummy starts to rumble, and then it starts to grumble. My words begin to wiggle, and then they do the jiggle. Then my tongue pushes all of my important words up against my teeth, and I erupt. Words just explode out of my mouth. My mouth is a volcano. Maybe Richard and Courtney have volcanoes in their mouths too, my mom said. I never thought about that. Lewis, the next time your important words are pushed into your teeth by your tongue, bite down hard and don't let them out. Then take a deep breath and push all of your words out through your nose. Then, when it is your turn to talk, take a deep breath and breathe them back into your mouth. Will that work? I asked. I think you can learn how to make it work, said my mom. That night at the dinner table, my sister Sylvia was in the middle of a long story when my important words slid down from my head and my volcano started to do its thing. Just as my tongue started to push my words out through my teeth, I bit down really hard. Then I breathed all of my words out through my nose. I took a deep breath and back in went my words. I was amazed that they had just hung around outside my mouth and didn't float away. When Sylvia was done talking, I told my story and didn't erupt anyone. After that, I never erupted again. Well, except for the time Bill's bubble gum got stuck in my hair, but that was a real emergency.
That was another great book. Yeah, I really like hearing those read-alouds.
I know that Ms. Munoz will have that book in the library in case teachers want to check it out again.
Oh, that's a good idea, because I might need another reminder about what to do when I feel like my mouth is a volcano and I just have to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of reminders about being a self-directed learner and not interrupting others. What was that strategy that the mom gave him in the book?
She told him to take a deep breath in and out. You can inhale your words and push them out as you exhale instead of erupting.
That's a great strategy, and it helped me to stop, to have time to think about making a better choice, so I can act in a way that shows self-direct.
So next time I feel like I just have to talk over my teacher, friends, or family, I'm going to stop and take a few deep breaths.
Let's practice. Ready? In Thanks, Dog and Allie, for leading us into our challenge for this week. So, leopards, your challenge this week is to show self-direct by watching your words at school and at home.
Some of us might struggle with talking over people, like the character in the story.
Others might need to watch what kind of words we use and make sure they're appropriate and show roars to all people.
And maybe you don't like to talk and want to be self-directed, to be a self-directed learner, and challenge yourself to participate more in discussion.
Whichever type of learner you are, you can use our challenge to help you show self-direct and watch your words at school and at home.
This is so great. Before we wrap up this week's video, let's review our behavior expectations.
All right, leopards, what are our school rules or behavior expectations? Roars! Okay, let's say it together. R, respect. O, ownership. A, attitude. R, responsibility. S, safety.
Great job, everyone. But before we go, how do we end our video? With our
Roars chant. Say it together. Ready?
1, 2, 3. Lake Marie, Lake Marie. Leopards show respect within our school community. Ownership, attitude, responsibility. Leopards show safety for you and me. Lake Marie, Lake Marie. Leopards.